Welcome, everyone. We want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. Come on, let's get to the root of it. Ow!
In these times that we live, we take strides to move forward. We strive to be more, stay strong and be focused. Start a while, we make choices, live or die. Take over starts at the root, and the truth may be hard to swallow. Step one, self-love above anything else. Unlock peace and happiness.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and thank you for tuning in to At the Root of It. My name is Shannon, and I am here just to say I'm doing something new, guys. I'm doing something new. I'm streaming on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Instagram as well. So I just wanted to say welcome everybody who will tune in on Instagram for the first time. I never did this before. So thank you for joining in. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Tanj. Hey, how you doing? So tonight's episode is called oh shoot, what is today's episode called? Tonight's episode is called Forgiveness. Is it for you or them? And I was talking over with my niece the other day, and I said, what should be another topic that we should speak about? And she was like, you never did anything on forgiveness. And I was like, wow, I didn't even really think about if I should do anything on forgiveness, because I just didn't think about that. But as I began to do research, and just from off of the things that I know for myself in reference to, hey D, how you doing, mamas? In reference to what I know on a personal basis about forgiveness is, number one, forgive and you should be forgiven. And the reason why I posed the question is forgiveness for you, or is it for hey Tinge on both. She's hit me on both. So D, I don't know if you see, but I'm also streaming live on Instagram as well. So I'm very happy about that. So as I was saying, with forgiveness, right? A lot of times we find it hard to forgive people. And sometimes, depending on what the person did, is very hard to forgive. But is forgiveness for you or is it for them? So, of course, as you guys know, I've did some research on this to see exactly what forgiveness is. Okay, so I looked up the definition, and I have some similar words as well for forgiveness. Okay, and so the definition that they put, and I have two definitions because this one is not. It doesn't say. It just says the action or process of forgiving or being forgiven. But I really took this information because of the similar words. So when you forgive people, you're pardoning them for the wrongs that they have done. Absolution, exoneration. You exonerate them. They no longer have those crimes against them. Remission, dispensation, indulgence, understanding, tolerance, purgation, clemency, mercy, pity, leniency, clearing, acquittal, pardoning, and vindication. Those are some of the words for forgiveness. Now I see that Anna said that it's for both and loving me a lot. Is that let me see who that is. Who is that? I'm sorry, I got everything set up crazy. Sorry, and I bumped the table. Hold on, y'all. I don't ever do this, so don't knock me. All right. And and it's going to continue to fall, but I rebuke it because it's going to stay up. I want everybody to see on Instagram. So Instagram, hold on, don't knock me out yet. You know what I mean? This is my first day. It's my first day. Okay, I'm going to do one at a time because I'm trying to get everything together. Look at this. All right, hold on, y'all. Do you see this, guys? But I'm still going to keep going because we have a lot of information for tonight. So please, there's no sound. Let me see. Hold on for a minute. Can you hear me, D? Let me know if you hear me. Let me know on the screen if you hear me. On Facebook, you can hear me? Okay, good. Anna said there was no sounds on Instagram. So let's see. Can you hear me now, Anna? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay. We have good sound. We have sound. Okay. So you saw everything falling. So hold on for a minute. Everything falling. I don't care though. I don't care. I'm going to get it together. Hold on, y'all. Because y'all know I'm the producer as well. So give me one moment. I have everything hooked up. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much.
Glad you found me helpful. Let me know if there's anything I can do.
I'm not talking to Google. You hear Google? Yeah, I think that the topic is so good that it's bothering it. My Facebook is at the root of it, guys. Y'all can't hear me on Instagram. Okay, so I'm just letting y'all know that at the root of it, that's my name on Facebook. All right. All right. You hear Google eavesdropping, right? She's all in my business. All in my business. All right. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for your patience. I mean, when I tell you that everything fell, meaning my lights, everything. Hello, Nikisha. Hey, Jen. I know, right? Yes, you see the enemy is very busy and the topic is too good. So, and it is because we really need this information, okay? We really need to know what it is. And I'm going to give you both the regular reason why we need to forgive, and also the spiritual reason why we need to forgive. Because we think that forgiveness is for the other people, but the forgiveness is really for us. And one of my personal stories is that, and I'm going to go off of this and come back on. Let me see. I'm going to come off of Instagram, and I'm gonna go back on. All right. So let's see. Let's do it like this. Sorry, y'all, but I'm gonna get it together because I want other people to be able to come on as well. So hold on. Doing something new. Doing something new. Thank y'all for being patient with me because I want to do something new. All right. Okay. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Yes, boo. We're gonna go and we're gonna get these sheep, right? Very, very, very correct. Because see, we don't even know the different things that can hold us back from um things that we want in our lives, and it can be held back through unforgiveness of people doing things to you. And not to say that you don't have a right to be angry or anything like that, but forgiveness is really for you. You'll be able to move forward in your life lighter. And I have information, I know a lot of people don't know how I do the show, especially on Instagram, but um, I give a lot of information, and I use a lot of my personal information as well. So forgiveness, um, from Wikipedia, forgiveness in a psychological sense is the intentional and voluntary process by which one who may initially feel victimized undergoes a change in feelings and attitude regarding a given offense and overcomes negative emotions such as resentment and vengeance. Okay, so that's from Wikipedia. So I wanted to get the biblical stance of forgiveness as well. So, and justdisciple.com says forgiveness itself is defined as the letting go of the sin. Whatever that sin is, whatever that offense was that you have experienced from somebody that you may have been very close to. It could have been a friend, a family member, a co-worker, a business partner that may have done something to you that you just felt like is really unforgivable. Now, one of the things that when I was growing up and when I first got saved, and just my disclaimer, I talk about God on my show all the time. It's not to force my faith onto you, but because the show is about perspective, if I give you what works for me. Okay, so I'm just giving a disclaimer to the Instagram people. Okay, so when I first got saved, the betrayal happened, right? And here I go, with with figuring out, okay, I'm saved, but I want to punch somebody in their face. I want to fight somebody because, people, they did me dirty. People that was really close to me did me dirty with no regard to my feelings, my emotions, or anything. And so I was on the phone with my grandmother and I was talking to her and I was explaining to her how angry I was. And so she said, well, Shannon, are you ever going to do anything wrong? And I said, yes, Grandma, because I'm not perfect. She said, exactly. She says, so forgive quickly. Forgive quickly. And I said, why do I always have to be the understanding one? Who has said that before? Who has said that before? Who had to eat that? Like eat whatever happened, and you have to forgive in spite of, if somebody cheated on you, if somebody talked about you and tarnished your name. What do you do? What do you do? You forgive, right? So I said, okay, I'll forgive, but I don't have to forget. And then here she comes pulling out another scripture on me. Well, the Bible does say forgetting those things that are in the past and pressing toward the mark for the prize of the high calling. And so it's like, all right, y'all, how much can we take? People tend to do things to us, and we feel like we're the only people that go through stuff. You know what I mean? When we're going through our stuff, the things that we're going through in our personal life, we feel like we're the only people that's ever been through it. But ultimately, what I found out is that when I forgave, right? I forgave, and it took me a little while to forget, but I most definitely forgave. And what that forgiveness did for me was that it freed me. It freed me from the thought process and me feeling like, they got over, because I serve a God. And I, again, everybody does not have my testimony, but I serve a God that says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So I took my hands off of it. And when I took my hands off of it, baby, the things that God can do that we can't do is out of this world. That's why he said, our thoughts are not his thoughts, and our ways are not his ways. Because what I thought that I can do in my own might and in my own strength to the things that people had did to me, baby, God superseded that 50, 11 times. And it's like, all right. So what you say, oh, hey, Tug, it's hard to forgive when you put your trust into someone that you thought had your back. You're so right, Tug. And yes, Nikisha, on here it says it frees you. It does. It is very hard to forgive, to when you put your trust into someone that you thought had your back. But this is another thing that the Bible says, that people don't like to really read the Bible, but it gives us instructions. It tells us certain things to do and not to do. And one of the things that it tells us to do is, don't put your trust in man. Always put your trust in God. Now, not to say that you're not supposed to trust your maid and all of that stuff, because we go through that as far as with our mates. But a lot of things that I say on my show, a lot, is that God's rejection is God's protection. So sometimes we allow people in our lives that shouldn't be there to begin with. So we put all of this trust and all of this energy and all of this stuff into people that's really not supposed to be in our lives to begin with. And so I have put up a meme, at the root of a meme, and it says, emotions are fleeting. So be mindful of your reactions today that will stir the responses for tomorrow. We got to have a forward thinking. Like, we really have to look at the person that we allow in our life. And I'm talking to myself too, you know what I mean? But we have to really look at ourselves and look at the people that we allow in our lives and say, are they worthy? Did we miss some red flags because we wanted what we wanted, but God was saying, woo, warning, warning. You know what I mean? So sometimes we put ourselves in those predicaments, and it's not to say that we're wrong, because all things work together, and there's always lessons in things. But the part of it is, with forgiving, is also learning how to forgive yourself. If you don't forgive yourself for your mistakes that you have made in your past, it will hinder relationships, because you won't be able to forgive. If you can't forgive yourself, you ain't going to be able to forgive other people too. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. The decisions sometimes, it be right in our face, and we'll be like, well, I still want to do this in spite of all the warning signs and all the sirens and all the red flashing dots and the stop sign, and it's blatantly saying stop. Do not go. Do not enter. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You know what I mean? But we'll still do these things because we want what we want. But we got to understand that those red flags are for a reason. And God knows the posture of people's hearts, regardless of what they say to us, because people talk. You know what I mean? They talk a good game because that's what they do. They know how to talk. That's called gaslighting. And because we want what we want, and because we're so anxious to have our families and the man that loves us and all of these things, we allow toxic people to come in, and then now we have to forgive them for doing us wrong when they showed us signs and signals and sirens the whole time. Hey cuz, love you, baby. Love you. You know what I mean? Be anxious for nothing. That's right. We have to learn how to incorporate prayer, especially in when we're trying to get into relationships, y'all. This is what we really have to really pay attention to. We pray over our food. We pray over our children. We pray over everything. except for our relationships. Why is that? Because we don't want God to tell us no. You know what I mean? Like we really have to, be mindful of those things and pay attention to the red flags. Like we really, really, truly do. Jen says unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Mike freaking drop. I just threw the towel at you, Jen, because it's not hurting the other person at all. The other person has gone on and they have to reap what they sow. Okay? So it's not you forgiving them, is not exonerating them from judgment or from reaping what they sow when they did that to you. You know what I mean? Even though one of the similar words for forgiveness was exoneration. But think about it. We're not the final say. We're not the final say. We're not the final judge. You know what I mean? So although God is gonna, people will look like they have everything and they did so many people dirty. But again, like she said, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. That I'm putting that on a meme, girl. I'm putting that on a meme. I'm telling you, right? So the biblical, it says forgiveness itself is defined as the letting go of sin. In the Bible, this includes forgiving everyone. Now, in the Bible, God tells us to forgive people 70 times 7 per day, y'all. Per day. 70 times 7, which indicates to me that people mess up every minute of the day. Not you per se, but everybody, somebody right now has did something that requires forgiveness right this second. 70 times 7. And we have to do that daily. Hello, Tipsy Cakes. Hello. So it's just like, all right, now we have to really understand that this is not for this is not for the other person. That's just like when you're getting over these relationships, right? And you know that you have to leave, right? And you decide, I'm going to leave. It's a solid decision that you're going to leave. You just have to plan it out. Right. 70 times 7 times 100 billion times infinity. That's how long, that's how much we have to forgive. Forgiving everyone, every time, of everything as an act of obedience and gratefulness to God. It acknowledges the sacrifice God made through his son Jesus, who died to restore the relationship between God and man. So I have 2 steps to help you in forgiveness, okay? The first step is talk to someone you trust and open up about how hurt, sad, or angry you may feel. Don't hold those emotions in. Don't hold it in. Talk to somebody. Let it out. I remember when I was growing up, right? And I had, everybody has stories about how they grew up and things like that. But when I was growing up, I had a friend, God rest his soul, Kedrick, and he used to always say, Shannon, why do you come and talk about your problems? And I said, if I don't talk about it, I'm going to blow up. So you have to get it off of you so it doesn't become weight, burden, baggage. Sometimes you're like, no, I don't want people to know my business, but sometimes you got to get it off of you so it won't sit on you. You got to get it off of you, okay? Nakisha said, it's not saying they are not wrong. It's saying I'm letting it go. Correct. You know what I mean? They can be wrong. They probably are wrong. But you are choosing. You're making a cognizant decision to say, I'm just going to release it. Is it that big? You know what I mean? And some things are that big. But you still have to let it go. If you don't, right, Nikisha, it will become bitterness. And so this is what it is. We just went over the I think the second to last show, or 2 weeks ago. The show was called The Thin Line Between Bitter and Better, because you have to let these things go. Forgive yourself and forgive the other person and move on, because the person that hurt you is not thinking about you while you're staying stagnant and hurt in the place that they left you. Take your power back. Take your power back. Love yourself. Bloom into a flower and become a butterfly. Look at all this is the reason why I have all of these things up here. Because love covers a multitude of sins. And because we know that we don't get it right all the time, we should exude that same type of love and that same type of energy that we will want. And that's why the Bible says, do unto others as you will have others do unto you. Not everybody operates like that. Not everybody goes through that. But nevertheless, it's building your spiritual character. It's building your spiritual integrity and your morality and how you view things. And this is a personal walk, regardless of if you're walking with a man or not. This is still a personal walk. And you got to get yourself together. You understand what I mean? You can't let all of these things take root, because how many people do you wrong? How many people? Think about the roots of the tree. Okay, how many people actually do you wrong, and how much of it do you hold? What is binding your heart? Just imagine how much unforgiveness is binding your heart. And while they moved on, they're doing their thing thizzle while we mad. So forgiveness is for you. And the reason being is so that you can release the weight, cast it off, and know that the reason why it didn't work was because the person was not for you. People come into our lives for a season, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And depending on what is going on in your life, that may be the extent of it. They cannot go where God is taking you. I know that when I started at the root of it, there was a lot of people that I cut ties from. And it's because everybody can't go with you. So forgive them, brush the dirt off your shoulders, like JC, get that dirt off your shoulders, because you probably was getting sick and tired of them anyway. And nobody wants to really think about that aspect of, why things happen. You was probably tired of them anyway. And I think I said that in one of the other shows that I did. So, talk to someone you trust and open up about how hurt, sad, or angry you may feel. Let your emotions out and don't apologize for them. You have the right to feel how you feel. Just like the Bible says. Again, I will always reference the Bible. I'm sorry. And also, at the root of its disclaimer is, we're not a clinical doctor. These are the things that I've been through on my own, that I've experienced, and I'm just telling you my insight. Okay? Don't apologize for the feelings that you're feeling, because you have every right. Okay, now Ronnie said people sometimes take forgiveness as a weakness. Let them view it how they view it, because again, it's for you. It's not for them. You know what I mean? It's not for them. It's really for you. It's a weakness. Why? Because I'm giving you grace where you didn't have none. It's all right. I'll be called weak, but weakness, a lot of times people think that meekness is weakness, and that's not it. It's just the fact that you have a humble spirit and that you know who your source is and what he said to do, and that is to forgive and release. If he throws it in the sea of forgiveness, who are we to be holding on to these things that was here to teach us a lesson or to get us away from a person that is not supposed to be in our life to begin with? So it's just so much that we really need to look at outside of just that one thing. It might be something that you don't need to be around. But forgiveness is definitely not weakness. It's actually the strongest thing that you could possibly do, because that means that you overcome your own feelings, emotions, and offenses to what they've done to you. And you are now free to move on with your life. Let them think so what? I don't care. Call me weak then. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I really don't care. I really don't care. I don't care. You know what I mean? So don't worry about it. Jen says, I'm walking around bitter and angry and letting that bleed all over everyone in my present life. While the person I refuse to forgive is going on with their life, either not caring or not even knowing I won't forgive them. Right. Half the time they don't even know that you didn't forgive them. You know what I mean? That's why forgiveness is for you. A lot of times they don't even know what they did. That's why you're going to that person and communicating how you feel is so important. Instead of talking about them behind their back and getting more and more bitter and resentful by the day. That is good. Go and talk about it. Forget and you know what? And say, I forgive you. Even if it's not really there yet, tell them, I forgive you. Because again, forgiveness is not for the other person, it is for you. Yes, you have to be an overcomer. These things, there's a lot of things that is going on in your life, and you think, oh my God, it's happening for the wrong. What did I do? And then God is saying, no, I'm trying to make your crooked road straight. And there's some people that and things that's in your life that got to go. So I'm sorry, you're gonna cry a little. I'm sorry, your feelings is gonna be hurt a little, but I'm trying to save your life because this person has ill intent towards you. I know the heart posture. And a lot of times we sit there holding on to dead mule, like, no, but I love he. I love she. And he's like, no, cut the ties, forgive and forget and keep it pushing. Okay, now people who seek revenge. Now, people who seek revenge, I feel sorry for those people. I feel sorry for those people because of the simple fact that they didn't forgive, they didn't forget, and it is still a constant tape recorder in their mind about what a person did to them. And a person that seeks revenge is a person that has already crossed the line of bitterness. Okay, because this is one too many times of me getting doodled on, for lack of a better term, or being used and abused like this. I'm tired of it. That might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. However, if you felt that way, know that you still giving that person power. That regardless of anything that is going on, that person is now more control of your life than you are. Pick that up. Because you want to seek revenge, that means that person that hurt you has more control over your life than you do. You gotta stop feeding into it. And you can't, I mean, I can't tell people how to feel, but I know that I've been through numerous betrayals. Okay. And Dion on Tipsy Cake said, sometimes you have to forgive without receiving an apology. And that is a hard thing to do, because when people has done something to you, you expect to apologize for them to apologize to you, because guess what? That's what you would do. But what we need to stop doing is expecting us from other people. Other people is not going to be us. God broke the mold when he made me. I believe that because I loved in spite of on multiple levels. You know what I mean? Multiple times where I have let go and let God and allow God to fix it, allow God to heal it, allow God to mend it. Because at the end of the day, people gonna get their just reward. If they look like they winning and they did something to you and they look like they winning, guess what? That's their just reward. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing else gonna come from that. You understand what I mean? Ain't nothing gonna come from that other than what they receiving. And it seems like God don't come through in time, but he really does come through on time. So Jen says, we want to receive grace for everything we do, but find it so hard to extend grace to others. And that, my dear, is the truth. We want everybody to understand our plight and understand where we're coming from. However, do we give that same grace and mercy to other people who may have made a mistake? Sometimes people just make in an instant make a poor judgment. I'm not talking about that, but if something is habitual, perpetual, then that's something that you say, I need to cut my ties. I've seen all that I need to see, and no longer this far, no further. I will not allow people, places, and things to allow me to come out of my character. Um, Another step in forgiveness, it says, don't withdraw. Don't withdraw or isolate yourself. Stay connected and feel the pain. Even though it hurts with someone there to listen, the pain is more bearable. So don't withdraw, because that's when depression comes. Okay? And that's when all the memories from the corners of my mind, right? Every good memory comes up, and oh man, now you're depressed. Now you're wondering why. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Don't withdraw and don't isolate yourself. Okay? So, seven steps to true forgiveness from thriveworks.com. Okay? It says step 1, acknowledge the hurt. Acknowledge that you're hurt. It's fine, right? Number 2, consider how the hurt and pain has actually affected you. Okay? Make sure you're not hurting. How can I say this? Make sure you're not hurting because of what you think they're doing, and not for the situation at hand. See, because our mind makes us think about all of these different things that stops us from forgiving. And even sometimes when we say that we forgive, we really don't. And God understands the posture of our heart. So we can't fake the funk all the time. I mean, we gotta say what we saying, and we gotta say it or fake it until we make it. But really, really, we have to really hone in on us and consider how we're hurt, and try to heal every section of the hurt. What did that hurt do to me? What are the feelings that came up when this hurt happened? I felt rejection. I felt abandoned. I felt like I wasn't good enough. All of these things start to operate in your head when people hurt you, especially relational. If that's a word, I don't know if that's a word, but all of these things. Was I good enough? I know that I had those questions plenty of times. Well, I'm a good woman. I'm a good woman. Why? Why didn't it work? And it's because they didn't deserve you. They just didn't deserve you. That's it. And that's all. And if you tell yourself that, then you'll understand it that much more. They didn't deserve you. So for you to walk around angry and mad at the world while they skipping through the tulips with their new family and stuff, throw that out. I'll forgive you, because they're gonna see who you truly are anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to give yourself some positive self-talk. So Jen says, I have to check my perspective constantly because I view everything through my wounds. Me too, Jen. Sometimes the other person didn't even do anything offensive. It was just my distorted perception. And we have that. So Ronnie says, what if you choose to forget and not forgive? You're still doing yourself a disservice. And the reason why I say that is because in order for God to forgive us for the wrongs that we do, because we do wrong as well. You know what I mean? In order for us to be forgiven, we have to forgive first. So you forgetting, I mean, how can that work? How can you forget about it but not forgive? You have to forgive in order for you to forget. Like, how I don't see where you can possibly not forgive but forget. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Me personally, I can't forget nothing if I ain't forgive you. That's just me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't do it. Okay. Number three, accept that you cannot change the past. No matter what happened. Yes, it happened. And although we replay it like if I would have did this, or if I would have did that, or if I would have did this. No, no, no. Know that your steps are ordered. Know that your life has a purpose. And even though we may not have found out what our purpose is, God still knows our purpose. And some people are not meant to be in our lives because they know that they're grimy. They know that they're dirty. You know what I mean? Like we be thinking people be nice, and in the background, they doing shady, shisty stuff to you intentionally. So why would God want you to keep them around? Yes, they'll hurt, but he'll hurt you. What I heard Jamila Gooden say this. She said, he'll hurt you to save you. He'll hurt you to save you. Ronnie said, just don't think about that person or situation. Right. Yeah, you don't think about it, but then it'll come up or it'll pop up in future relationships because although you don't talk about it, you don't think about it, there's a trigger in there now that's telling you, uh-oh, I see XYZ. And now the next person has to deal with your wounds. That's just like with Jen saying that she sees everything through her wounds. If you don't acknowledge it and take care of the problems that are bothering you, eventually those same problems that you sweep under the rug will affect you later on. Take care of your problem now. That's all you got to do. Take care of it. Forgive. It doesn't cost anything to forgive. It doesn't cost you anything to forgive. Yeah, and reciprocity don't miss nobody. Dion said that on Instagram. On Tips Cake said it on Instagram. But karma, reciprocity does not miss anyone. Anyone. So Tange says, if I forgive someone, it means I'm going to continue to deal with or be around them. So I think if you can't forgive, you better forget and move around. Right. I mean, now, even if you don't decide to stay around people, you know what I mean? Around the people that hurt you. You don't necessarily have to stay around the people that hurt you, even though you forgive them. That's one of the most biggest misconceptions that you could possibly think of is that you think that because I forgive you for the ought that you've done against me, that now I gotta be your friend. No, nobody said that. I forgive you. You don't allow people, places, and things to affect you and affect what's going on in your life, but you keep it pushing. You don't sit on it. You let it ride. Okay, I'm not gonna be your friend now. Now I'm lying because even with the deception, I still was cordial because we have children that we share with the same man. You know what I mean? And there's no reason for me to be bitter because number one, I'm a lover of love, right? So I changed my viewpoint, and I always say, just like I tell anybody else, I always look for the silver lining. Okay, I always look for the silver lining in the sky. Well, why did this happen? What did I allow in my life to affect me this way? Why did I let this person, place, a thing come in? And why did it happen? What did I learn from it? I always ask my daughter that. I always ask anybody that has gone through anything. Well, what have you learned from it? What do you think the reason was that you went through it? Evidently, you needed to learn something. Okay, so Sarani says, I'm just throwing out scenarios. We were brought up and taught to forgive. And Lord knows we've forgiven a whole lot. Yes, sir, Bob, we sure did. And you know what? But that's why we are administered grace. You understand what I mean? Because when you can give grace to other people, not everybody don't think like you. Everybody don't act like you. And everybody is not, does not care about your feelings. People are going to do what they're going to do regardless. You understand? Regardless of how they feel about you. But if you know who you are as a person. You will get the lesson that you got with the experience that you've experienced with that person and move right along. Like Tange said, move around. You don't have to be around that person because you've forgiven them. You've forgiven them for you so that you're not burdened, so that you're not carrying this backpack full of um things that can keep you bitter. Oh, because remember when you did this? This is why when we have arguments that, well, I remember last year when you did this. My mother, my brother and my sister's on tonight. So my mother used to say to our father, I'm mad at you for because you left Crasdale in 1969. You understand what I mean? Like, you gotta forget some things. It's 2021. 1969, you still mad, bruh? Get out of here. Forgive and forget. But we cannot forget and not forgive, because I wanted to go back to that comment, Ronnie, because I think that that's what a lot of people does or do. They choose to forget that the situation has ever happened, but not forgive, and then they bleed. Here goes the nose, y'all. Almost made it through. Almost made it through. But if you don't forgive, it'll still haunt you in your future endeavors and who you deal with next in your personal relationship. How you treat people will even though you don't think it would, because in the Bible it says a little resin, not a resin, a little leaven, a little leaven leavens the whole lump. It ruins the whole, a little bit ruins it. The whole lump or the whole loaf of bread. A little bit of leaven, a little bit will mess it up. So take it out. Don't allow it. Don't allow it. All right. Yay. Hey, Phoebe. I totally did not forget about you. We are going to talk. We're going to talk this week. So Phoebe says, forgiving someone for the harm they've done to you is more about freeing yourself from the toxicity that will arise if you don't. Say that. We empower ourselves when we decide to forgive a hurt. You may not always forget that thing, especially right away, but eventually it will become just a memory. Right. And but you gotta let your emotions take its course, but not sit in it. You understand what I mean? Just like the Bible says, be angry, sin not. You have a right to feel what you feel, but don't allow your emotions to take you out of your character or even lead you into doing destructive things. Like Ronnie said, Ronnie was like, what did he say? I'm bringing it up. He was talking about how about people who seek revenge? Then they're already bound. Whatever the person set out to do to you, they have succeeded, because now you want to get revenge. Well, I want to get revenge. No, I'm going to live my best life. And I'm going to show you better than I could tell you that, guess what? You did this to me. I forgive you. Grace be upon you. May God smile upon you in the name of Jesus. And I'm going to keep living. And I'm going to keep grinding. And I'm going to keep smiling. And I'm going to keep glowing. And I'm going to keep growing. And then guess what? That those same people that thought that my feelings and emotions and what they did to me didn't matter, they're going to see that it didn't stop me regardless. Yeah, you hurt me. Yeah, I may have like a little limp. I may be walking with a limp, but it's all right. I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep pushing. It's okay. I'm not going to die from this. I'm going to learn from this. I know that now when I meet new people that have character traits like you, guess what? I ain't messing with them. You done taught me a lesson. You know what I mean? Don't be bitter. Don't be bitter. Ronnie, stupid. What if you forgive but still beat the person up? Then you have to ask God to forgive you. I think you should beat the person up first and then forgive. No, don't accept that. Don't. Okay, I'm gonna take that back. I would personally, because why would you forgive and then gotta go back to God and ask for forgiveness for beating the person up? I think you should beat the person up and then forgive. Sorry, y'all. No, but you know what? When that betrayal happened to me, my grandmother told me not to do anything. And I felt like the weakest link out here, man. I'm telling you. I was so mad, yo. I was so mad because um because of the simple fact that how they get away with this and I can't even punch them in their face, yo. Like I can't put my paws on them real quick. That was the most humbling. Is that my boo, Shamika? Yes, Mika Shah. Hello, baby. Hey, Sean. All right, Instagram pop off. But anyway, but I really believe, I really believe. Yes, Tinge, I see. I have turned over a new leaf, so I won't say to fight anybody anymore. But if you caught me 2 years ago, I would tell you to punch them in their face first, and then and then holler at God later. But that's not me today. Okay, I just want to let you know that it's not me today. Yes, Tange, you will definitely feel better after punching somebody after you beat somebody up. Most definitely. However, we can't allow people to take us out of our character. We just cannot. We cannot. Okay, I did not get through a lot of these points. Step 4, determine whether or not you will forgive. Repair is number 5. 6 is learn from it, and 7 is forgive. Um, what is the power of forgiveness? The power of forgiveness transforms anger and hurt into healing and peace. Forgiveness can help you overcome feelings of depression, anxiety, and rage, as well as personal and relational conflicts. It is about making the conscious decision to let go of the grudge. Now, let me say this. We were taught from our grandmother, my brother, my sisters on online. Our grandmother taught us to never hold a grudge. She said never hold a grudge because again, people are still living their lives while we're mad. We cannot give our power away. We are giving our power away by still staying mad. We're giving our power away by not forgiving. We're giving our power away, and we're allowing these people to dictate and write the narrative for the rest of our lives. I hope y'all understand that. Like, because we're angry now, we turn into bitter people because they did what they did and not realizing that they saved you again. Rejection is God's protection. So if there's somebody that you have to forgive because they left you or whatever the story is, just know that there's a reason they couldn't go with it where he was taking you. You know what I mean? You probably didn't even know where he was taking you, but they couldn't go because their heart wasn't right, their spirit wasn't right, and their mindset wasn't right. People's mindsets don't be right, but we'll be attracted by what we see, right? And the person is dumb as a doornail that can't even help you, can't even do nothing for you. And then when they do something against you, now we all sad, busted, and disgusted. Why? What did they bring to the table? What did they do for you? Really, what did they do for you? Like we really have to look at it from plain sight, not with the bubbles of love and hearts. Like really be real with yourself. What you mad at? He already with my betrayals, plural, they already showed me who they were. I just didn't believe them. You understand? You understand what I mean? They already showed me who they were by their actions because actions speak louder than words. I had an ex that always told me, and I'm like, you're not going to do whatever. And guess what? He will look at me and say, I'll show you better than I can tell you. And I hated when he said those words because he was really about to show me some stuff. And I would be so mad. But actions speak a whole lot louder than words. And we got to really take care and look at that, at those red flags. And maybe we'll be cutting off ties that we already know should have been cut off to begin with. And then we won't get done dirty. because the signs are there. The signs are there. All right. So Tangent's so silly. She said, "Don't take that junk back." Say that right. Beat them up, and then I ask God for forgiveness. You so silly. All violent on your podcast. Sorry, sorry. You so silly. Yeah, but we do. We gain self control over that, baby. Exactly. Oh, thank you, Tan. Definitely need the show. I needed it too because we need to know that we need, with our unforgiveness, we are still empowering people to control our lives. Take your control back. I forgive you. Sometimes people don't do things. Have you ever done anything outside, without thinking and be like, I wasn't even thinking. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You're not gonna forgive them? You never been there before? You know what I mean? Come on. You want the same measure given to you as you want to give to other people. We gotta be real. We gotta be realistic. You know what I mean? We can't expect people to do it for us and we don't want to do it for them. And like I want to go back to something that Jen said, because you know, it is really is wait, where is it? I gotta scroll up. Where are you, Jen? You said, oh man, it's like, oh, where are you? I need it. I need that thing. Jim was talking about how not forgiving, not forgiving is like you taking poison and expecting the other person to die. Ain't that some crap? What? We expecting the other person to die while we take rat poison. Nah, it's not gonna happen like that. Forgive and let go. Forgive and let go. Forgive and let go. I'm gonna say that again. Forgive and let go. Phoebe, I view unforgiveness as giving that person power over me. Right. I don't want anyone having power over me, so I have to choose to walk towards my peace. Right. And peace, it will set you free. It will set you free. Don't allow people to take you out of your character. I will always say that. Forgiveness can help you overcome feelings of depression, and grudge. Okay. 7 steps to utilize to live a life of true forgiveness. And it says identify your hurt. Start by pinpointing the source of your hurt. I see you, boo. Acknowledge your hurtful emotions. What are you feeling? Like I said, you gotta dig deep. You gotta dig deep. Tange said, I've been holding a grudge with a loved one for over 10 years. I'm gonna forgive them and give them a call. Thank you, sis. Well, hallelujah. I love that. I love that. I love that. For 10 years, Tange. Not for 10 years, yo. They don't have that much power. God. No. 10 years. 10, that's a long time. That's a long time to be angry over something that's probably not even affecting you today. I know you don't be playing. I know that's why we kindred spirits, but we gotta know when to let go and let God. We gotta know. We gotta know. Yes. I know what though. That's your cousin. Call now. I hear you. He just dropped it in my spirit. Call now. Call now. It ain't worth it. Yep. 10 years, let it go. I think you better let it go. Do, 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 do. Let it go. Let it go. It ain't worth it. People are not worth you carrying around all of those things. We carry around too much baggage. I say this in a lot of shows. I find myself even with this forgiveness topic that I'm saying the same thing over and over. You don't want to be a bag lady carrying all this stuff while they're living scot-free. It's not fair to you. And it's not fair to the people that want to be a part of your life. Because as Jen said earlier in the show, you start bleeding and you start viewing things through your wounds. I know that for a fact because I do that. What's up, T? What up, T? Coleman? How you doing? trying to wave at you, yo. It ain't letting me. But anyway, but my Instagram is popping. But guess what, y'all? I went live on Instagram, but it's underneath my personal page, so I'm gonna do it better the next time and do it under at the root of it. But yes, call. I'm so happy that that by watching this show tonight, that is actually gonna help you to heal a 10-year rift. It's not worth it. And again, Tange, remember, just because you forgive does not mean that they got to be in your life. They don't have to be in your life. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to be a fake friend. You see them, forgive them. When people show you who they are, believe them and forgive them. Because one thing in my walk that I've learned is that people's going to be people regardless of anything. Girl, I think you better let it go. Let it go, Tinge. Let it go. Let it go. 10 years is long enough. Long enough. This far, no further. Forgive. Because we're gonna need forgiveness in one area or another in our lives. And we have to give it to get it. We wonder why people still be mad and stuff and be like, oh no, I'm not talking to her. And it's like, but why? I mean, I said I was sorry. And you're like, no, because, and it's probably because you have hidden unforgiveness in you. Like, don't let it get you. Okay, forgive yourself and let go. Acknowledge your hurt emotions and what you're feeling. Breathe in compassion. When you have compassion, you'll be able to have compassion for other people, and you'll understand that people are people. And sometimes people don't make the right decisions. You know what I mean? I know I don't always. Forgive unconditionally. It's just like loving unconditionally. I love people in spite of the things that they do. But and sometimes, like Ronnie says, sometimes people take forgiveness as weakness, but that's on them. You know, the meek shall inherit the earth. And, you know, hey, call me what you may, but I'm not going to hell for nobody. You understand what I mean? I'm not. That's gonna be the end because it's actually 8 o'clock, and I have so much stuff to talk about. Oh my goodness! But at any rate, again, I'm starting my Patreon page, so I need y'all to please. Where is my thing? Uh, I'm trying to get to my well, anyway, I'll get to it. My Patreon. I have a Patreon page. It is a membership only page. It's $5 or $10. Um, and videos will be going up. So I only have 2 patrons right now, but I want you guys to please look. That is on Facebook and YouTube is Patreon, patreon.com/ATROI. That stands for at the root of it. And please sign up so that we can have now Patreon is for exclusive content only. It is not for what you guys see on a Sunday show. And I was looking, I did bring some, I have my pen. Okay, here it is. Because the beginning of the show was a debacle, y'all, right? Let me tell you something, but we have at the root of it pins. It's not gonna look like this, and we have the journals will be coming, and you'll be able to purchase that on Patreon as well. So please look it up. But yeah, it should be a part 2. I think it could be a part 2 because again, forgiveness is broad, and there's so many different things that people go through in their lives that they need to either be forgiven for or to forgive. Okay. So until we meet again, you guys, I maybe I might come on live later on this week to actually continue this because again, we really, hey T Coleman, thank you for the hearts, boo. So because this is a conversation that this is, now for my saved people, we already know what our forgiveness, it allows us to enter into heaven, right? But maybe some unsaved people don't know that that's a part of getting you into heaven is forgiveness. You got to forgive. You know what I mean? You really have to forgive and let it go. Forgetting those things in the past and pressing toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Jesus Christ. You got to press on. Things happen for a reason. People are in our life for a reason, season, or a lifetime. And you just have to decipher who is who. And the people that leaves your life, when they leave your life, they were supposed to leave your life. And understand that. And hold on to it, understand it, and look at your life and look and see and view how much better it is since the person left. Like the memories, we have to cut off the tape recorder because it be the memories of these people and these places and these things that probably wasn't even good for us anyway. All right, I'm gonna stop talking because I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep it going. I can keep it going, but I think I'm gonna come back on maybe Tuesday or Wednesday during the day. So please look for that. You'll see it pop up on your notifications. Please look out for that. And I'm gonna go on to Instagram. And my Instagram family, thank you so much for tuning in. There was new people on the show today. Y'all clap it up. Can y'all give me some hearts and stuff? Hearts and stuff. Lots of hearts. Because guess what? We are gonna broaden this. This is for the masses. This is not for saved people. Okay, I'm not saying saved people like that because I'm one of those quote unquote saved people. I'm talking about, but this is for the masses. This is for people who need to know. These are need to know information. Forgive, 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 forgive. It is not for them. It is for you. So that is the outcome for tonight's show. It is not for them. It is for you. All right. Ending with a bang. Love y'all to life. Thank you so much. Good night, y'all. Love you too, sis. You are my success story for tonight, baby Tinge. Go ahead and make that call. 10 years too long. 10 years too long. Thank you, boo. Thank you. And on that note, y'all, until we meet again next week, when we talk about another eye-opening hot topic, all right? On my Instagram people, again, thank you so very much for tuning in to At the Root of It. Even though I'm on my personal page, I will be going on to At the Root of It on my Instagram page because, wasn't thinking, but nevertheless, that's what I was led to do, so that's what I did, and I'm happy that I did it. So till we meet again, love, peace, and hair grease. Y'all have a good night. Love and light. Later.
Welcome, everyone. We want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. Come on, let's get to the root of it.
In these times that we live, we take strides to move forward. We strive to be more, stay strong and be focused. Start a while, we make choices, live or die. Take over starts at the root, and the truth may be hard to swallow.